Have you ever set a goal, only to find yourself giving up before you even get started? You tell yourself, I just need to be more motivated. And yet, no matter how inspired you feel for a few hours or days, the motivation fades. Why is that? Today, we're diving into the science of motivation, the psychology behind why willpower often fails, and what you can do to actually stick to your goals. Motivation is often misunderstood. Most people think motivation is a constant, like a fuel tank that can be filled. But research in psychology tells us otherwise. Motivation is actually dynamic and fleeting. There are two main types. 1. Intrinsic motivation driven by internal rewards, like personal growth, curiosity, or satisfaction. 2. Extrinsic motivation driven by external rewards, like money, recognition, or praise. Studies show that while extrinsic motivation can work in the short term, it rarely sustains long-term behavior change. Intrinsic motivation, on the other hand, is more enduring, but it's often harder to tap into. Ask yourself, are you pursuing your goals because you truly care about them, or because someone told you you should? Now let's talk about willpower. Most people think willpower is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. But science shows that willpower is actually a limited resource. Experiments in behavioral psychology reveal that making decisions drains your mental energy. Resisting small temptations can reduce your ability to stick to bigger goals later. Willpower alone is rarely enough to sustain long-term success. For example, in a famous study by Baumeister, participants who resisted eating cookies were less able to solve difficult puzzles afterward. Their self-control had literally been depleted. So if you rely only on pushing yourself or forcing discipline, you are setting yourself up for failure. This is where habit formation comes in. Research from Charles Duhigg and studies in neuroscience show that our brains are wired to seek automatic behaviors habits, so we don't have to rely on willpower all the time. Habits work like this. 1. Cue a trigger that tells your brain to start a behavior. 2. Routine the behavior itself. 3. Reward the benefit your brain receives. When you repeat a habit consistently, your brain stops needing willpower. The behavior becomes automatic. So the real key to motivation isn't relying on feeling inspired. It's designing your environment and your habits so your future self can succeed with less effort. Think about one habit you struggle to maintain. What's the cue? What's the reward? Could you tweak your routine so it happens automatically? Here are 3 science-backed ways to hack your motivation. 1. Start small. Studies on behavior change show that small, manageable actions are easier to sustain. If your goal is to exercise, start with 5 minutes a day. The momentum will build. 2. Use environmental design. Make the desired action obvious and easy. For example, place your workout clothes where you see them first thing in the morning. Remove distractions like social media from your phone while working. 3. Focus on systems, not goals. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, emphasizes that the outcome isn't as important as the daily process. Systems remove reliance on fluctuating motivation and willpower. Other techniques supported by research. Temptation bundling. Pair a pleasurable activity with a productive one. Implementation intentions plan exactly when and where you'll take action. So here's the bottom line. Motivation is unreliable. Willpower is limited. Success doesn't come from forcing yourself to feel inspired. It comes from understanding how your brain works, designing your habits, and creating an environment that supports the behaviors you want. Ask yourself, which tiny habit can I start today that compounds over time? How can I make it easier for my future self to take action? Discipline and structure beat motivation every time. When you design your life according to science, you don't rely on fleeting inspiration, you engineer your success. If this analysis gave you clarity, hit follow for more Mindshift daily content, where we turn science and psychology into practical strategies for growth, habits, and mindset mastery.